We are joined today by an author who has come up with this fantastic book. William Madison is with us, professor of theology at the University of Notre Dame. And the book is called Follow Me, Walking with Jesus Through the Gospels. William, thank you for being with us today. It's great to have you on Catholic TV.
Oh, Bishop Claire, it's fantastic to be here. Thanks. I know you have an audience that's yearning to encounter Christ, and you guys feed that longing. So I'm hoping this book can help in that endeavor.
We really do. Are you on the campus right now?
So I'm at the campus right now. On campus right now. I'm in the Golden Dome building, just yards away from the Basilica. It's a privilege to be here and join you from Notre Dame. I'm glad to hear that you provide the Mass on Sundays from the Basilica.
And we have a lot of people who watch it because they are alumni or they just love the place, as do we. By the way, what led you to write this book in the first place?
Yeah, it actually grew out of a guided retreat by a Jesuit spiritual director of mine, who led me through the 19th annotation of the spiritual exercises. And in a very Ignatian manner, you pray with passages in the Gospels, try to imagine yourself in the story. And it's a way to help the kind of gospel passages, which, sometimes we can hear and they become kind of tired and, well, I know that one, or I know what the point of that is. It can really help you enter into it. And as any encounter with the gospel is really an invitation to grow closer to the Lord. So I was journaling on these prayer kind of sessions, and it started writing these depictions of the stories from the first person perspective of one of the characters in the stories. So that's really the kind of add to the book to try to help the reader, enter into the story more richly.
Interesting.
So that's a pretty unique take, that you get to look through the perspective of a biblical character. Can you run us through an example? Maybe, let's say, the wealthy young man?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Obviously the invitation there is to sell everything and follow Christ, and we all know the end, right? He walks away sad because he had many possessions. So when he narrates that story, obviously this is all speculative, right? So he describes why he was there that day, what it was like to encounter Christ, how Jesus kind of transformed what he was looking for and called him to so much more. But one of the fun things about writing that one is he describes what happened afterwards. We think that he walked away sad and had many possessions, and it's the end of the story. And he talks about how the next few verses where Christ says how hard it is to follow, how hard it is to enter the kingdom, but yet all things are possible with God. He recalls Christ actually talking to him kind of over the crowd as he was walking away, entreating him, not giving up on him. And eventually that persistence of Christ, kind of like the hound of heaven, led him back to the Lord. So the goal is, of course, to help each of the readers to encounter Christ in like manner.
My motto as a bishop, the words that I chose are a definition, actually, of who Jesus is. The words are, Jesus is our only hope. How can this book, we're in the business here of helping people to develop a relationship with the Lord Jesus and to come to know him and to love him. How can this book help people to do just that?
Yeah. As you know from your motto, hope is a virtue that inclines us toward the Lord in times when we're not there yet. We're people on the way, and we're people who suffer a lack of full presence of God, both because of kind of this broken world, but also, of course, our own brokenness. And I think one of the things that the passages in the book do is narrate what it's like to follow the Lord in time and through our challenges and through our brokenness. I think sometimes we want the faith to be like a quick fix, where we get the point of the story and everything changes and it's fine. And by going through the perspective of these characters, we see what it's like to struggle to follow the Lord, and yet how Christ persistently, kind of guides us and empowers us to do so. So I think it's a real sign of hope for the reader.
That's awesome. And this one is just a personal question. It's a little bit off topic, but we're all abuzz about Catholic Schools Week here right now.
Yeah.
And you are passionate about Catholic education as well. You've written theology textbooks, correct? Can you just speak a little bit on the importance of Catholic education from your perspective?
Oh my gosh. So talk about the importance of the day-to-day. So our kids have gone to Catholic schools, still do, in college and high school. The beauty of Catholic school is, of course, how they learn about the faith and religion class. And of course, it's how they celebrate the liturgies, the sacraments in the context of school. But really, what it is like the day-to-day permeation of faith in the lives of the teachers and the lives of the community. It's obviously not without brokenness. It's not without discipline problems or struggles in schools. But to be able to see day in, day out at little moments before class or little moments at meals, how the faith kind of permeates the lives of us as a faith community, that like there's no better venue for that. I mean, the family, of course, but think about it. If a lot of kids spend more time in the school than they do, with their family, given the vicissitudes of life today. So schools are just crucial arm of evangelization.
Professor Madison, I've been to the campus at Notre Dame and always very impressed whenever I visit there. One of the things I remember is that I realized that in every dorm there's a chapel and Mass is celebrated on Sunday. In your role as a professor there at Notre Dame, beyond the book, how do you, in your teaching, in your relationship with the students, how do you help them to come to know the Lord Jesus more deeply in their lives?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm a theology professor, so I have the great privilege of talking about these things directly, which is just an inestimable privilege. But that said, as any kind of parent knows, or anybody who works with children or their peers at work, the kind of attentive personal encounter with people is really kind of like an engine for evangelization, our kind of patience, through the day-to-day moments, bearing with, loving one another, attending to another, treating another person as a person. I was walking with a couple of students across campus yesterday, and just that 20-minute walk of kind of sharing ideas and listening to who they were, that's the kind of encounter with others that can really mediate God's very presence to us. And we're all called to that.
Thank you so much. How can people get this book? I know everyone's going to want to, especially with Lent coming up, they want a personal journey. Where can they get this book? How can they find out more about you and your work?
Yeah, for prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, it'd be a great aid for our prayer lives for Lent. Emmaus Road Publishing has been fantastic as a publisher, so I'd heartily encourage you to go to their website. But of course, you can get it anywhere where you buy books. And God willing, it's a vehicle of the Spirit in your lives.
Very good. Follow Me is the name of the book. It's available at emmausroad.org. Professor William Madison, it's been great to meet you and be with you, and congratulations on this important volume, and God's blessing on all of your good work there at Notre Dame.
Thank you, Bishop Reed. Thank you, Claire. God bless you both.
God bless you too.